Hello. Hi. I'm going to ask you a question. Do you like to feel safe? Okay. Feel safe? And of course, we all do. Okay. But how often our willingness to be safe, safe from ridicule, safe from being judged, safe from looking foolish, that runs into play and we accept the status quo. So, guys, this message is for you. Men, what do you think? How often do you play small? Just because, again, you don't want to risk of it basically exploding in your face and basically, I look like a tool. Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to share a story about me when I was 17. And I'm going to show you, hopefully illustrate with this, how it can play out and how, if you don't play it small, that it can play out as well. So, you know that I come from a family of 8 boys, and we lived on a farm. My father was an alcoholic. So my mama, when I was 17, she was still complaining about bills need to be paid. We don't have money. So we as kids, we didn't feel too rich. So when my English teacher in grade 11 said, class, we have a trip being organized for England. Well, I said, I can't go. We can't afford that. I think it was 1,500. This is when I was 17 for 1 week in England. And I said categorically, I can't go. And my best friend at the time, he said, Patrick, don't think of how much you need, how much it costs. Think of the first payment. I said, what do you mean? And he says, the first payment's only $300. So I said, $300? Yes. Just put all your energy in making that payment. And then when the next payment comes, put all your energy in making that payment. That's what you need to focus on. So he basically said, take that price of the trip and divide it into digestible chunks, payments. Well, one, I felt that it was an indigestible chunk, $300 I needed for September. There was less risk. And because there's less risk, I said, I can do it. Now, do you see how I had to stretch? Because I'm saying I gotta be careful how I'm spending my money if I'm gonna make that $300 payment. So I had to change too a little. I had to be a little more open-minded. I had to have faith in my friend that he knew what he was saying. So I was doing the action. I was changing. But what happened is I was able to make all the payments except the last one. So there's only $400 I couldn't pay. So by that time, I was going. So I was looking for a way. So I said, I went to my aunt, the richest one. I said, could you lend me $400 for this trip to England? And to my surprise, she knew who I was as a person, and she knew that I would pay back because I had a personality, that I had a head on my shoulders. Yes, I can do that for you, Patrick. And I had to pinch myself. I'm going to England. I am the 4th child of a family of 8 boys, and I'm the one going to England at 17. Well, what does that experience say? Number one, I learned at 17 that I had to, if I want to play it small, I'm throwing that, I can't afford it. And that keeps it safe. It gives me the status quo. But the status quo, I think I don't need to convince anybody. It's if you don't have much, don't have much surprises. It's very status quo. It can get a little boring after a while, but it is safe. But why not do it like I did when I was 17? I'm telling you, that was a game changer. When I said, "Oh, I'll take 1,500 was too much. I can't do it." But 500 or 400 each segment, I could do, or 300, I think it was. I could do. So I was changing my way of thinking. And once I had done the trip with an adult, my English teacher, so he was making all decisions and we were basically abiding. I had somebody to follow, someone to give rules, and I followed. Well, that allowed me, I don't know if you realize this example, I went outside my comfort zone. I was willing to put the money in segments. And finally I got it paid. And now I'm putting my trust in my teacher, and we're going outside of Canada. We're going to England. Well, after that experience, when I was 20 and I finished my bachelor, Patrick, he had an idea. I'm going to England myself. So I went to Europe all by myself. I had confidence now. I went with my teacher. So you see how now going out of my comfort zone, it's a little easier. So I went to England. I went to England for a month and then came back to Canada. And when I did that, I finished my first bachelor. I was 22. And I wanted to learn French. I come from New Brunswick. It's bilingual, New Brunswick. So in Canada, it's a bilingual country. So that French language was still, I couldn't speak it. So 17, I went to England. That was big. And then 20, 21, I went to Europe all by myself, which was big. And now at 22, I'm adding another element to it. I'm going into a country, France, that I don't speak a word, and I'm living with a family that I do not know. And I'm going to school at the same time. So do you agree that's even a little more outside my comfort zone? But I could never have done that had I not gone by myself. And I could never have done that had I not gone when I was 17 with a teacher. So you can't, I want you to know, playing it small, keeping safe. I have compassion for you guys, but what I want you to do is, especially anxiety is at an all-time high now, but realize what you could do is think when I was 17, make a little change. Just like I did a small payment. Well, and little by little, that small payment added to a big payment in May. I started in September, and in May, it made it to a big payment. So why don't you could, guys, start with something small. You're nervous. You have anxiety. Every time you talk, you go outside and you talk to girls, for example. Well, what Patrick said could be interesting. I could just go a little outside my comfort zone and I could just say hi to a girl and smile. And I'm going to maybe just do that 3 times a week. And if I can do that, and after a few weeks, that will feel comfortable. Now maybe I can travel alone to Europe. for Patrick, maybe now I could add another question. Hey, hi. Would you like to go for a coffee somewhere? My point is, playing it safe is easy. And too many guys are playing it safe today. They identify on this way. I'm going to accept to be this way. And 10 years goes like that. And they haven't changed one bit. They're still not married. And who says you have to be married? But if you want to be married and you're not married, that's a problem. Do you agree with that? And 10 years has passed and they're still living with their grandparents. They have a room of their own, but now they're 38 and they're not doing anything. So I just want you to know that playing it small is not helping anyone, especially it's not helping you. And what can we do differently? Go outside your comfort zone, but start small. Start small, like I just said. And it's going to be a game changer because if you start small, like saying hi to 3 girls in the week, you're going to be able to, it's going to be stressful maybe at the beginning, but as you do it, you're going to improve your craft and you're going to be able to say it much more comfortably. And now it's going to be more natural. And now, no, I'm ready. I'm ready for another change. And you could actually do that again. Now I'm going to ask her, I'm going to smile and I'm going to ask her, hey, would you like to go for a coffee? And if they say no, it's okay. I'm ready now. Because if they say no, maybe somebody's going to say yes. You see how you're now changing? And you're changing in small ways, but still you're changing. So it makes the game interesting. It makes living interesting. So I'm going to stop right here now because hopefully you get what I'm trying to get at. And now it's time for action. Okay? Try to implement in what I'm doing, I'm saying. Okay? For number 1, let's collectively say let's stop playing small, or let's stop being afraid. Let's stop being safe in the way we live, and let's start a little outside of our comfort zone. And a suggestion: don't tell anybody what you're going to do. If you have decided to your comfort zone, you like to meet a girl, and I'm going to say hi to 3 girls every week, don't tell anybody. Why I say don't tell anybody? No one needs to know this but yourself. Because if you tell somebody, you're going to get their input, and maybe it's going to be ridicule. Maybe it's what? You've never talked to a girl? You don't need that. So it's no one's business. It's your life. So keep it to yourself because it concerns no one but you. And the day you choose to share with others, it'll be your choice. Okay? But your first call to action is think, in my situation, what would be going outside my comfort zone? What would be going outside my comfort zone? And that, start with there. And then after a while you're doing that, stretch it a little bit more. And you're going to be the one that's winning. You're the one that's going to be going closer to your dreams, to your goals. Okay? Call to action number 2 is quite simple. Subscribe to this channel. I'm still going to try to, soon you're going to get another video, and I want you to be the first to actually be notified that you have it. And hopefully these videos are giving you value. Okay? On that move, I'm going to wish you peace and love, and I'll see you next time. See you soon. Bye-bye.